on the Morning Brew with Friends, and we're here with my buddies JB and Sean, and there's a big motorcycle rally coming up, and JB is with the Duke City Rockers Motorcycle Club, and you're with Paws and Stripes, and the big rally coming up is the weekend of September 11th. All the proceeds from that, or most of the proceeds from that, are going to go to Paws and Stripes, which is awesome. But you guys don't just ride, like, when I think motorcycle rally, I think Sturgis, and I think Harleys, and, you know, dudes on big choppers. Which, no, this is something entirely different, right? Tell us a little bit about what you guys ride.
We try to encompass the vintage lifestyle, bringing back things that everybody's looking at that expect that they're dead.
Right. These are like 1960s and 1970s.
70s, I would say anything that kickstarts and down. So like
right.
1979 and down.
These are old Triumphs, and I think of the old, some of the old cool vintage Japanese bikes.
Early Hondas, Kawasaki's, BSA, Enfield,
and not
Norton.
necessarily the modern bikes that you see the guys with the mohawks on their helmets.
Nope. This is like pudding cap.
Yes, right. Like old when you see the old posters.
Goggles and scarves.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
That's very cool. This is the kind of helmet that you guys wear. This is like a nice classic vintage helmet.
Right.
I love that. Yep. Is that full of leather in there?
It is.
Here's the
nice plush supple leather.
There's the Rockers website. You can get an idea of the vintage style of the guys. And the rally is going to be September 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Correct.
And I think you're taking pre-orders right now on that website, right?
We are taking pre-orders. The pre-order is going to be a little bit cheaper. It's $35 for the pre-order, and then it gets more expensive the day of.
Okay, cool. And then Sean, this is great because I know you've been a big supporter of the Rockers, and last year and vice versa. Yeah. And last year the Rockers raised more than $500 for Paws and Stripes.
It was more than $500. We were fortunate to have one of our board members was associated with, and Tyson, JB's partner. Was interested in us. He's a veteran as well, so reached out to us, and we were glad to have the support, and weren't as involved last year as we are this year. They just said, you know what, we like you guys, we're going to do this for you.
Wonderful.
This year we're much more involved, and fortunately get to be here, and a great group of people. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're really looking forward to it. It's exciting. JB was just explaining to me the history of the cafe racer and what it is.
Yeah.
And, the more I learn, the more I get to tell people about it. So we hope to have a bunch of our people there supporting as well.
Cool. Well, it's like I get the thought that like in America back in the late '60s, they were making the bikes longer and longer and longer, like Easy Rider style to go long distance. But in Europe, they were making them shorter and shorter and shorter,
and
so they
lighter and lighter and lighter.
Right, so they could just go through all the corners all over Europe. Right. And especially in England, it was a very big thing, race from cafe to cafe. And it was the same kinds of guys, but just on another continent. I think is a good way to think about it, right?
Most people don't even realize that, Harley's Sportster never even came out until Bonneville came over here. Triumph came over with the Bonneville 650
as a sports bike,
destroyed everything,
and
then so Harley had to compete with it.
Right.
So
right, absolutely. And you guys had your big gala Saturday, the big Paws and Stripes gala. I saw pictures of it. I missed it this year. I was kind of bummed, but you guys looks like you had a great crowd.
Yeah, thanks for keeping up with us. We did. We just had our biggest event of the year this past weekend on Saturday. Our graduates from the past year get to walk, and we do a silent and live auction, and really just a way for us to bring all of our supporters together in the same place and share our success and the success of our clients and graduates, with them. We had a nice little promo video. So the event was much bigger than last year. We actually oversold. We would have been happy at 300. We oversold to 420 people in the room.
Not a bad problem to have.
Yeah, not a bad problem at all. There were many quality problems, because the event was so big.
I like that attitude, quality problems.
Yeah, it was good. A lot of work.
I've heard JB described that way.
So we had a lot of help from volunteers, big support. Our staff did an excellent job. I was very happy with the outcome of the event, hugely successful. I think all said and done, we probably raised over $50,000 this year.
That's huge.
Last year was about 30. So that's almost enough to sponsor 10 veteran service dog teams through our program.
And we have to remind folks what you guys do at Paws and Stripes.
Sure.
Because when we talk about service veteran dog teams, these are dogs that you guys train specially.
Yes, sir.
And they're generally, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're generally rescue dogs.
9 out of 10 times they come from local shelters.
And you train the dogs to become it's more than a service companion. It's almost what's the right word for that?
Living, breathing biofeedback tool. These dogs are medical equipment, essentially.
Right.
And so the cool thing about our program, we provide service animal training to American veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injury. And our model integrates mental health resources and support. So essentially, the veteran enrolls in our program. We introduce them to a group of dogs at the shelter that we've selected and deemed fit for service animal work.
Dogs have certain kind of temperament and a certain kind
Precisely,
of aptitude for learning things.
Exactly. It's not breed specific. People ask us that all the time.
Right.
What's your favorite breed? Our favorite breed is rescue. As long as they come from the shelter and they meet the size requirements and age requirements and temperament requirements, then they're fit for service. So the veteran chooses from a group. They choose their own animal, and when they choose the one that they're going to bond with,
the animal and the veteran probably choose each other.
Very.
Like my dog picked me. I don't think I picked her. You know, they know, right?
They do, and so they bond, and they go home together that day and live together from day one. And the cool thing about our program is that essentially we just provide this model to the veteran. They train their own service animal, so they're living together 24 hours a day. The bond is very deep. You know, they get to know one another. The dog begins to understand, you know, the anxiety levels and the working heart rate and the hormones and so on. These are all things they can pick up on their own. We're not really training them to do anything. What we're doing is positively reinforcing them when they pick up on the things that the veteran is having an anxiety attack, or maybe a seizure or a migraine is coming on, or they need help carrying something or getting out of a chair. So mobility assistance, you know, anything they could need assistance with. So they come to our program, they bring the dog to the program, and they work with our trainers to train their own dog. And some of our trainers are graduates of the program with service animals of their own.
Very cool. So if you raise $50,000 on Saturday night, then how many service animals does that train?
A traditionally trained service animal could cost upwards of $60,000.
Wow.
We get our groups through the program 2 at a time for 9 months to a year for $6,300. And this includes mental health support for them and their spouse. This includes all of the training equipment. This includes all of the time in our office and out in the community training the service animal. A lot of good stuff goes in. So for a tenth of what it would cost the traditional service animal group, we get them through, and with so many more resources for their care.
I know. I saw the TV show you guys had last year. It was very
Dogs
cool.
of War.
Dogs of War. It was very cool. Is that coming back? I had never heard. I never kept up with
it. You know,
it.
we just recently heard that the A&E is not picking up a second season of Dogs of War.
But
it can be found on
DVD or on Netflix.
iTunes and Apple TV.
Woohoo.
Personally, I'm not an Apple guy, so I don't know how that works, but I'm told that they... No, shake your head.
Right, but we'll go. Those of us will pull out our iPhones and we'll find out later for you.
So you can help our viewers with that, you know. Thank you guys again for having us out and always supporting us. But yeah, you can buy episodes online if you want to see it, and I would really recommend to anybody that wants to check out Dogs of War. It tells the story of the veterans struggling to reintegrate with post-traumatic stress disorder, and you know what it's like for them and how a service animal can, you know, assist them with that.
That's very cool. And the rally is September 11th, 12th, and 13th. And it kicks off, I'm assuming there's rides with this?
There will be rides, yeah. So Friday night, we're all going to meet up at Tractor on 4th Street. For motorcycles.
Great venue.
Yeah, it's
Great venue for beer, for music.
Yep, food trucks.
Excellent. Love that. We had a bunch of food trucks on the show this last month. It was fun.
Tractor supports us in a big way as well. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I really
good.
enjoy it.
That's where I first saw Dogs of War, actually, was Tractor.
Yeah,
the
they had
premiere
viewing
there.
parties
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I brought my dog.
Yeah.
My dog and I both watched Dogs of War at Tractor.
See, that works.
It was awesome. We loved it.
Well, the cool thing is, too, we have a bunch of helmets that we're doing. And all the helmets that are being auctioned off, 100% of the proceeds go to these guys.
And when you say you're doing helmets, you mean you're hand painting them?
We're hand painting them, hand designed, custom one-off helmets.
Very cool.
I believe that there's like 15, I believe.
Perfect.
So
I love it.
Half Friday night, half Saturday night.
Sounds like a plan. We'll see you guys on September 11th. We'll be back in a couple of minutes on the Morning Brew with friends. Hey, try that on.